Hello, and welcome to Electro Nerds Academy. In this video, we're going to dive deep into the fascinating world of stepper motors. Let's get started. Here, we have two stepper motors. At first glance, they might look similar, but if you look closely, you'll notice they have a different number of wire connections. This difference is because one is a unipolar stepper motor and the other is a bipolar stepper motor. Before we explore the details of these types, let's go over the basic principles behind how stepper motors work. Imagine a motor setup with 4 stator teeth and 2 sets of coils that can be powered by separate DC sources. Each of these coils functions as an electromagnet. The rotor, which has its own north and south poles, is designed with fewer teeth than the stator. This design ensures that the rotor aligns with only one pair of stator teeth at a time, allowing for precise movement. We start by energizing coil A with the specified voltage polarity. The windings of coil A create a magnetic field such that one tooth becomes a north pole and the other becomes a south pole. Since opposite poles attract, the rotor aligns itself with the teeth of coil A, resulting in little to no movement initially, as it's already in position. To move the rotor to the next step, we de-energize coil A and energize coil B with the shown polarity. The rotor then aligns itself with the opposite magnetic poles of coil B, causing it to rotate. In this case, the step size is 90 degrees. Next, to advance another step, we energize coil A again, but this time with reverse voltage polarity, which creates opposite magnetic poles compared to the first time. As a result, the rotor rotates an additional 90 degrees and aligns with coil A's new magnetic field. We then reverse the polarity of coil B and energize it, causing the rotor to move another 90 degrees by aligning with the opposite poles of coil B. Finally, we complete the full rotation by energizing coil A again with the original polarity we started with. By repeating this sequence, the motor continues to rotate, with each step moving the rotor by 90 degrees. Now, if we want to reverse the direction of the motor's rotation, we can follow the same sequence of energizing the coils, but in reverse order. To start, we energize coil B first with the opposite polarity. This makes the rotor move clockwise instead of counterclockwise. Once the rotor aligns with coil B's teeth, we then reverse the polarity of coil A and energize it, causing the rotor to take another 90-degree step in the clockwise direction. After this, we energize coil B again, but with its correct polarity this time, and the rotor takes another 90-degree step. Finally, we energize coil A with the correct polarity, allowing the rotor to complete a full revolution in the reverse clockwise direction. This method of controlling the stepper motor by energizing one coil at a time is called wave drive stepping. While it's a simple way to control the motor, it doesn't fully utilize both coils at the same time, which results in lower torque. Another method of controlling the motor is called full stepping. In this technique, both coils are energized during each step, allowing for higher torque. First, we energize coil A and coil B simultaneously with the given polarities. This makes the rotor align itself between the two coil teeth, attracted equally by both magnetic fields. For the next step, we reverse the polarity of coil A while keeping coil B's polarity the same. This causes the rotor to rotate 90 degrees and align between the new magnetic poles of the coils. To keep the rotor moving, we maintain the polarity of coil A and now reverse the polarity of coil B, making the rotor take another 90-degree step. Finally, we reverse the polarity of coil A while keeping coil B's polarity unchanged, moving the rotor one more step. Repeating this process allows the motor to complete a full revolution, with each step moving the rotor by 90 degrees. The stepping technique we'll explore next is called half stepping, which reduces the step size by half, resulting in 45-degree steps in our case. This method combines the principles of both wave stepping and full stepping to achieve finer control. First, we energize only coil A. Then, we energize both coil A and coil B together. After that, we de-energize coil A, leaving only coil B energized. Next, we reverse the polarity of coil A and energize it while coil B remains energized. After this, coil B is de-energized, and coil A stays energized with the reversed polarity. Now, with coil A still energized, we energize coil B with the opposite polarity. Then, coil A is de-energized while coil B stays energized in the opposite polarity. Finally, coil A is energized again with its polarity reversed, while coil B continues with the same opposite polarity. This cycle repeats, allowing the motor to rotate. By further reducing the step size to 1/4, 1/8, and beyond, we enter into the world of microstepping. We'll cover how microstepping works in more detail in a future video. A modern hybrid stepper motor consists of a magnetic core rotor with two-toothed steel end caps. One end cap becomes the north pole while the other becomes the south pole, and they are aligned with a slight offset from each other. This offset causes alternating north and south poles when viewed from the front of the rotor. The stator, which surrounds the rotor, also has teeth, but two fewer than the rotor. For instance, if the rotor has 50 teeth, the stator will have 48 teeth. The motor has two coils labeled A and B, and each coil is wound in 4 sets around the stator. In wave stepping, we first energize coil A, aligning the rotor with its magnetic field. Since the rotor is already aligned, there is little to no movement. Next, coil A is de-energized and coil B is energized, causing the rotor to rotate 1.8 degrees to align with the new field. Then, coil A is energized again with the opposite polarity, rotating the rotor another 1.8 degrees. Similarly, coil B is energized with opposite polarity, moving the rotor another 1.8 degrees. This sequence is repeated, with each step moving the rotor by 1.8 degrees. Since each step moves the rotor 1.8 degrees, approximately 200 steps are needed to complete one full revolution. In full stepping mode, both coils A and B are energized simultaneously, creating 2 pairs of north and south poles. The rotor aligns itself between the nearest opposing poles, balancing the magnetic forces. To step the rotor forward by 1.8 degrees, the polarity of coil A is switched while coil B remains unchanged. Next, coil B is energized with the opposite polarity, while the polarity of coil A stays the same. Finally, the polarity of coil A is reversed again, moving the rotor another 1.8 degrees. This sequence is repeated to rotate the rotor through one full revolution. In half-stepping mode, the step size is reduced to half, that is equal to 0.9 degrees. The process begins by energizing only coil A. Then both coil A and coil B are energized together. Next, coil A is de-energized, leaving only coil B active. Afterward, coil A is re-energized with reversed polarity, while coil B remains energized. Coil B is then de-energized, leaving coil A active with its reversed polarity. With coil A still energized, coil B is energized with opposite polarity. After this, coil A is de-energized, leaving coil B energized in its opposite polarity. Finally, coil A is re-energized with its polarity reversed, while coil B remains unchanged. This cycle repeats, enabling smooth motor rotation with reduced step size. The motor shown here is a bipolar stepper motor. However, as mentioned earlier, there are also unipolar stepper motors. A simplified version of a unipolar motor is shown here. The key difference between a unipolar and a bipolar motor is that in a unipolar motor, each winding is split into 2 halves, and a center tap is brought out for connection. This configuration gives the unipolar motor 6 wires instead of 4. Often, the center taps of the 2 windings are internally connected, making it a 5-wire motor, with the 5th wire typically connected to a positive voltage. The motor is driven by applying ground to the remaining wires. For example, when ground is connected to terminal A1, the first half of coil A is energized, generating magnetic poles as shown here. These magnetic poles interact with the permanent magnet rotor, but since the rotor is already aligned with the stator's poles, there is little to no movement at this stage. Next, by grounding terminal B1, we energize the first half of coil B. This shifts the magnetic field within the stator, and the rotor turns to align itself with the magnetic poles generated by coil B. After that, we energize A2, the lower half of coil A, followed by B2, the lower half of coil B, continuing the rotation. This sequence repeats to keep the motor moving. In full stepping mode, we energize 2 coils at once. First, A1 and B1 are energized, then A2 and B1, followed by A2 and B2, and finally A1 and B2. For half-stepping, which allows for finer control, we alternate between energizing 1 coil and 2 coils at a time. First, A1 is energized, then A1 and B1 together. Next, B1 is energized alone, followed by A2 and B1. After that, A2 is energized, then A2 and B2 together, followed by B2 alone, then A1 and B2. And finally, to complete the revolution, we will again solely energize coil A1. Note that in all 3 step sequences, that is wave stepping, full and half stepping, the voltage polarity at the center tap does not need to be switched to drive the motor. This unipolarity is why it's called a unipolar motor. In contrast, bipolar motors require changing the voltage polarity of the windings to turn the rotor, which is why they are called bipolar motors. That's all for this video. We hope you found this explanation helpful. Stay tuned for more content, and we'll see you in the next video.